I am glad for everything that ever happened to me. I wouldn't change a single thing. Every scar, every loss, every betrayal, every time I got punched in the mouth by life, I thank God for it. Because without it, I wouldn't be who I am. People whine and cry about what they've been through, but I look back and I say, I was lucky. I was blessed. The reason I speak about these things isn't to sit here and convince anyone that I had it hard. I don't need your sympathy. I talk about it because I want people who complain about their own lives to understand one thing. The bad things happening to you are exactly what you need to forge yourself into the man you claim you want to be. I can't talk about women because I'm not one. I actually think trauma destroys women. It masculinizes them, makes them cold, bitter, hard, and no man wants that. We want women who are soft, feminine, pure, untouched by the darkness. I don't want my woman to ever go through anything bad. I'd rather carry the weight of the world on my back than see her go through it, because she shines brightest when she is safe. But a man doesn't become a man without trauma. For men, it's the opposite. If you want to be your best self, you need the fire. You need the pain. You need to go through the crucible. And when guys email me and tell me their sad stories, this happened to me, I lost this, I failed here, I ask them a simple question. How else were you planning to become important? You think greatness comes wrapped in a cushy life? You think you're gonna wake up in silk sheets, eat croissants, and somehow build the endless fire you need to face this savage world? Number. That's not how it works. Think back on your life. Think about the moments that changed you. The times you got more done in a month than in the previous 5 years combined. It was never when everything was comfortable. It was never when you were relaxed, happy, and cozy. It was when you were broken. It was when you were angry. It was when your heart was ripped out. When your money disappeared. When the world spat in your face. Those were the moments that transformed you. You don't grow from comfort. You grow from chaos. Trauma is a cheat code. It's the shortcut up the mountain. Because while everyone else is sleeping, crying, or numbing themselves with nonsense, you're in the gym at midnight. You're planning at 4 a.m. You're too angry, too hurt, too obsessed to stop. That's the fuel nobody can buy. And that's why when a man writes me and says, "My wife left me, I'm devastated," I say, good, perfect. I understand your pain. Every man who ever mattered has been there. But now it's time to work. Stop watching YouTube. Stop sending me emails. I don't want your sad story. I want pictures of you in the gym. I want sweat. I want proof that you took heartbreak and forged it into muscle, into strength, into discipline. Because heartbreak is one of the best motivators in the world. The same goes for depression. The same goes for sadness. Those demons people think are curses, they're blessings in disguise. Depression, sadness, anger. These are great allies if you weaponize them. You look at what makes you miserable and you vow never to allow it again. That's how kings are built. If you were rich, strong, respected, if you carried yourself like a man with unshakable value, she probably wouldn't have left you. If your finances were locked in, if your physique radiated discipline, if your aura screamed power, you wouldn't have been abandoned. So don't sit there broken. Rebuild yourself into the version of you that doesn't get left. Get your act together. Every man who ever mattered went through trauma. Every single one. It's part of the process. It's painful to get strong. It's painful to get rich. It's painful to build status, to carve your name into stone. Your heart will be shattered more than once. You will be betrayed, mocked, doubted, and crushed. That's the price. That's the initiation. And if you're not ready for pain, you'll never be anything more than background noise. You'll never be important. Trauma is not the enemy. It is the training ground. And the modern world tries to tell you otherwise. They'll say trauma is dangerous. They'll say avoid stress, avoid difficulty, run to pills, run to therapy, run to comfort. That's the matrix talking. That's the system trying to neuter you because they know the truth. A man who learns to internalize trauma, accept it, and weaponize it becomes untouchable. He becomes unstoppable. That's why I tell men, leave therapy, walk out the door. There is nothing more destructive to the male psyche than paying to sit across from some stranger and whine about your problems. This guy you're crying to, he has his own problems. His own wife, who probably doesn't respect him. His own bills piling up. His own failures. But he hides it behind a certificate on the wall. And you, a man with a destiny, sit there, begging for his sympathy, like he's some kind of god. You hand him money so he can nod and say, that must have been hard. And you feel better for 5 minutes while your life still rots. You are dulling your sword. You are walking into battle and throwing away your only weapon because you're afraid it might cut you. But that same blade is what cuts your enemies down. That same pain you want to escape is the exact energy you need to become dangerous. You're denying the very ingredients that made you, you. God gave you those challenges for a reason, so you could become sharper, smarter, harder, and wiser. And instead of thanking him for the lessons, you cry to a mortal about how life was unfair to you 20 years ago. A therapist can't give you a time machine. They can't undo what happened. They can only coddle you into believing your weakness is justified. And weakness is never justified. There is only one true emotion you should ever pull out of pain. Anger. Not despair, not tears, not hopelessness. Anger. Because anger moves mountains. Anger changes destinies. If someone kills your brother, you can sit and cry, or you can get angry. Sadness does nothing. Anger builds armies. Anger fuels revolutions. Directed, disciplined, weaponized anger is the most powerful force on this earth. Think of it like water behind a dam. Aim it correctly and it can power an entire city. That's how your anger should function. If you're broke, get angry. If you're weak, get angry. If she left you, don't hate her. Don't waste energy on her. Get angry at yourself. Be furious that you allowed yourself to be in a position where you weren't irreplaceable. Anger should push you into the gym, into business, into learning, into growth. Anger should keep you awake at night building a plan. Anger should be the sword you sharpen every day. You think sadness builds anything? You think therapy will make you dangerous? Number. Anger will. People argue with me about therapy. They say, but Tate, talking helps. And I tell them, talking helps weak men feel justified in staying weak. If talking about your problems actually solved them, the world would be full of winners, not a graveyard of broken men crying about their childhood. Winners don't sit and talk. They do. They act. They grind. They bleed. That's why when people tell me, you need therapy, I laugh in their face. If I need therapy, how come the entire planet knows my name? How come when I walk into a room, cameras come out and people whisper? How come every attempt to destroy me has failed? How come I sit on hundreds of millions, fly in private jets, live in mansions, and crush interviews with hostile media while they stutter through conversations with their boss? You want to know my therapy? My therapy was waking up in a Romanian dungeon staring at a wall for 4 months and coming out sharper than I went in. My therapy was being locked in a cage while governments tried to erase me and walking out stronger, richer, and more famous. That was my therapy. Do you understand? My therapy was fire, and instead of breaking me, I used it as fuel. Because I don't run from demons. I chain them. I put them to work. I make them march for me. I have anxiety. Of course I do. You think the governments of the world trying to kill me doesn't make me anxious? You think 9 baby mamas, constant death threats, assets frozen, and assassination attempts don't create stress? I live every day with chaos on my shoulders. But I don't let it crush me. I turn it into rocket fuel. Anxiety wakes me up at 6:15 a.m. sharp, heart pounding, ready to fight, ready to build. I don't lie in bed scrolling my phone. I launch out of bed like a weapon. That's the difference. Anxiety doesn't own me. I own it. And depression? I laugh when people tell me they're depressed. You're depressed because you live a depressing life. You're depressed because you do nothing. You wake up, you eat garbage, you play video games, you binge Netflix, and you wonder why your soul is screaming. Of course you're depressed. But depression isn't a curse, it's a signal. It's your body and mind screaming at you that you are wasting your potential. Depression should make you furious. It should push you out of bed and into war mode. I've been depressed, but I didn't sit and cry. I went to the gym. I worked. I built. I made sure my life was so full of power and money and women and purpose that depression had no space to breathe. You can't be depressed on a yacht with 300 million in the bank and the world chanting your name. So I make sure I built that reality. People say, but Tate, I have OCD. Good, perfect. You're obsessive about the wrong things. You're obsessive about arranging your Star Wars toys or your video game stats. That's pathetic. Be obsessive about the gym. Be obsessive about your money. Be obsessive about winning. Turn your OCD into a razor-sharp habit machine. Wake up at the same time every day. Hit the weights like a soldier. Track your bank account like a predator. Let your obsession turn you into a monster nobody can compete with. You don't have to get rid of OCD, you have to redirect it. That's the truth therapists will never tell you, because their business depends on keeping you broken. They don't want warriors. They want repeat customers. If every man stood up, sharpened his sword, and said, I will own my demons, the therapy industry would collapse overnight. They can't have that. So they drug you, they numb you, they convince you your pain is a disease instead of a gift. They sell you weakness disguised as healing. Not me. I looked my demons in the eye and said, you work for me now. Anxiety? Good. You're gonna make me move faster. Depression? Good. You're gonna make me build harder. OCD? Good. You're gonna make me disciplined. All of these so-called conditions became my soldiers, my legion of darkness, and with them, I conquered the world. You see, people think I got lucky. They think I beat my Romanian case because of chance. They think I made millions because I stumbled on it. That's the biggest lie weak men tell themselves to sleep at night. You think I got out of the worst matrix setup in the most corrupt country by accident? You think I survived because of luck? Number. I survived because when I couldn't sleep at 3 a.m. in a cell, I didn't cry. I trained. I pushed. I read law books in a language I didn't understand until I did. I studied the system until I could use it against them. I strategized endlessly. I worked when other men would have folded. That's why I won. And that's what men don't get. They think they can feel their way to greatness. They think they can talk themselves into success. They think they can manifest it while eating chips on the couch. Number 4, success is pain. Success is suffering. Success is hours of work when you're exhausted, when you hate it, when you want to quit. That's why only 1 in 100 makes it. 99 fall off the path because it's hard, because it hurts, because they can't handle the grind. And that's why the one who makes it gets to gold. The difficulty is what gives it value. If everyone could do it, nobody would respect it. Life is supposed to be hard. That's the whole point. You're supposed to wake up tired, stressed, annoyed, and still march forward. That's how you separate yourself from the herd. And if you don't, you're finished. You'll be average, invisible, forgotten. The path is brutal on purpose. It weeds out the weak. That's why I tell every man, stop seeking comfort. Stop running from pain. Learn to smile while you suffer. Train yourself to thrive in misery. Because when you can thrive in misery, you can dominate in luxury. Discipline is destiny. And if you lack it, you stand no chance. You could have the roadmap. You could have the Ferrari with a full tank of gas, and you'd still crash it because you lack the discipline to steer. The world is full of men who don't get it. They want the results, but not the scars. They want the crown, but not the war. They want to be respected without ever being tested. And that's why most men die nobodies. Let me make this clear. Every man you've ever admired, every king, every conqueror, every champion, went through pain so deep it would make the average man collapse. They didn't run from it, they embraced it. They didn't pray for comfort, they sharpened themselves against a grindstone of life until they were unbreakable. You think I was born unshakable? Number 4, I was forged. I was cut, broken, abandoned, betrayed, locked up, targeted, dragged through hell. And I came out sharper every time. People tell me, but Tate, I can't handle it. It hurts. Of course it hurts. It's supposed to hurt. That's the point. Do you think becoming a world champion kickboxer didn't hurt? Do you think I didn't wake up with broken bones, blood in my mouth, lungs burning, and still train harder the next day? Pain is the language of growth. And the man who runs from pain runs from his own potential. When I lost, I didn't cry. I trained harder. When I got betrayed, I didn't sulk. I built stronger walls. When I got locked in a cell, I didn't despair. I plotted. Every blow life landed on me just gave me another reason to win. And that's why I'm still here. Bigger, louder, richer, stronger than all of them. That's why people chant my name while my enemies rot in obscurity. And this is the reality men don't want to face. Nobody is coming to save you. Not your mom, not your dad, not your girl, not your friends, nobody. The world doesn't care about your excuses. The world doesn't care about your tears. It respects power. It respects money. It respects discipline. That's it. And if you don't build those things, you're invisible. You're another pawn, another forgotten soul. Men email me, my girlfriend left, I'm broken. Good, be broken. And then rebuild into something so powerful she regrets breathing near you. Men cry to me about losing their job. Good, now you're free. Build something of your own. Men cry about betrayal. Perfect. Now you know who you can trust. Every tragedy is an opportunity in disguise, but only if you're ruthless enough to seize it. Weak men turn pain into excuses. Strong men turn pain into empires. That's the difference. You see the same event. One man cries, another man conquers. Which one are you? That's the question. And I'll tell you another thing most people won't say. Women don't respect weak men. They don't care about your sob story. They don't care about your trauma. They care about how you handle it. They care about whether you rise or collapse. You think a woman dreams of a man who says, I'm going to therapy because I'm sad. Number. She dreams of a man who stares pain in the face and says, "Watch me win anyway." She dreams of a man who cannot be broken. That's what attracts. That's what inspires. That's what earns respect. The modern world is designed to break you. That's why it hands you comfort, porn, drugs, distractions. Because comfort is control. A distracted man is a controlled man. They want you soft, addicted, dependent. That's why I scream at you to get angry, to get focused, to wake up. Because if you don't, you'll die a slave. That's not a metaphor. That's reality. When I was in that Romanian cell, they thought I would crumble. They thought I would go insane staring at concrete walls. But instead, I used every second to sharpen my mind. I did push-ups until my arms shook. I read law books until my brain felt like it would explode. I visualized victory every night. I didn't waste 1 second. And when I walked out, I was stronger than when I went in. That's what separates winners from losers. The loser wastes pain. The winner uses it. And this isn't just about me. This is about every man. You're going to face betrayal. You're going to face heartbreak. You're going to face poverty, failure, humiliation. That's guaranteed. What's not guaranteed is what you do about it. You either fold or you fight. You either let life own you or you own life. There's no middle ground. Most of you are folding. That's why you're invisible. That's why nobody respects you. You complain online, you cope, you hope someone feels sorry for you. But nobody cares. Respect is earned. Power is taken. Status is built. And it all comes from your ability to weaponize pain. You think I enjoyed waking up every day under attack from governments, media, enemies, fake friends? Number. But I smiled through it because every attack was another chance to prove my strength. Every enemy gave me a new purpose. Every hardship carved me sharper. And now I sit here, untouchable, because I refused to be broken. That's what you need to do. Stop asking for easy. Stop praying for comfort. Pray for strength. Pray for the resilience to handle anything. Because if you can handle anything, nothing can stop you. And that's the goal, to be untouchable, unshakable, unbreakable, a man who cannot be destroyed. That's what trauma is for. It's the training. It's the test. It's the fire that forges the sword. So the next time life smashes you, don't cry, don't run, don't beg for sympathy. Stand up, smile, and say thank you. Now watch me win. Most of you don't understand what discipline really is. You think it's waking up early twice a week or going to the gym when you feel like it. That's not discipline. That's hobby energy. Discipline is war. Discipline is doing the thing every single day, no matter how you feel. Discipline is obeying yourself like a soldier obeys his commander. It's not optional. It's not negotiable. It's a law. When I was broke, when I was fighting, when I was sleeping in cheap apartments with nothing but instant noodles and a dream, I still trained every day like I was preparing for war. I didn't care if I was tired, sick, depressed, or broke. I didn't care if my body was screaming. I showed up. And because I showed up, I became a champion. I became rich. I became powerful. That's what discipline does. It transforms nobodies into kings. And you can sit there and tell me, "But Tate, I don't feel motivated." Who cares? Motivation is a joke. Motivation is the most overhyped drug in the world. It's unreliable, it comes and goes like the wind. You can't depend on motivation. If you depend on motivation, you'll lose. Because the day you don't feel it is the day you quit. Winners don't care about motivation. Winners run on discipline. Winners run on rage. Winners run on the promise they made to themselves that they will never fold no matter how they feel. That's why when people say, "You're so lucky," I laugh. Luck? My luck was waking up day after day and pushing through hell. My luck was never quitting. My luck was showing up when I had nothing and still acting like I was destined to win. That's not luck. That's discipline. That's willpower. That's choosing every day to suffer now so I never have to suffer later. And here's another truth most won't admit. Greatness is lonely. You want to know why most men don't make it? Because they can't handle being alone. They can't handle nights with no validation, no applause, no comfort. They need to be distracted, entertained, coddled. But loneliness is part of the grind. When you're chasing greatness, you will spend years in the shadows. You will be invisible. Nobody will clap for you. Nobody will care. And if you can't handle that, you'll quit. That's why so few make it. I remember sitting in silence, broke, ignored, grinding. No one knew my name, no one respected me, and I thought, good. This is my training. This is my cave. Because when I emerged, I knew I'd be untouchable. And I was right. The solitude, the boredom, the rejection, all of it was fuel. All of it built me into the monster who now sits on thrones and laughs at the same people who doubted me. That's what most of you can't do. You want instant results. You want validation every step of the way. That's why you quit the gym after 2 months. That's why you quit your business after one setback. That's why you cry when people don't believe in you. And that's why you'll die average. Because greatness demands patience, loneliness, and relentless discipline. Look at how I live now. Private jets, supercars, respect worldwide. Do you think I got here by accident? Do you think I stumbled into this life? Number. I built it. Brick by brick, rep by rep, day by day, year by year, through blood and sacrifice. I earned it. And if you want even a fraction of it, you have to be willing to bleed for it. You have to be willing to go to war with yourself. And let me tell you something else. Betrayal will come. Friends will turn. Family will doubt. Women will leave. You will be stabbed in the back by people you trusted. And when it happens, you have two choices: break or build. I chose to build. Every betrayal I faced became another wall in my fortress. Every knife in my back became another weapon in my hand. Betrayal is inevitable, but weakness is optional. The truth is, nobody cares about your feelings. The world doesn't stop because you're hurt. The world doesn't care if you're tired, broke, or heartbroken. It keeps moving. And if you stop, you're left behind. That's why discipline is non-negotiable. Discipline is the difference between being crushed by life and crushing life. That's why I tell you, smile through the pain. Walk into the storm willingly. Make suffering your ally. Because if you can learn to enjoy the process of suffering, if you can learn to crave the struggle, then nothing can stop you. That's what makes a man untouchable. That's what makes him sovereign. Most men fold because they don't want to be uncomfortable. They don't want to feel pain. They don't want to sacrifice. But what they don't realize is that the pain is temporary. The pride is forever. The struggle is temporary. The status is forever. The sacrifice is temporary. The throne is forever. But only for the men who endure. Only for the men who bleed without quitting. So I'll leave you with this. Every time you feel pain, every time you feel tired, every time you feel like quitting, smile. Because that's the sign you're on the right path. That's the proof you're doing what weak men won't. That's the price of greatness. And if you pay it long enough, the world will bow. That's the price of greatness. And if you pay it long enough, the world will bow. Let me tell you something most people never understand. Life is war. You might not see bullets flying, but every single day you are under attack. You are attacked by weakness. You are attacked by laziness. You are attacked by distraction. You are attacked by comfort. And every time you choose to relax instead of fight, you lose a battle. Enough lost battles and you lose the war. That's why most men end up slaves to the system. Broke, invisible, forgotten. When I wake up, I don't see a day, I see a battlefield. The second I open my eyes, the enemy is already waiting. Fatigue, excuses, temptation. And I have two options: fight or fold. Every morning is a choice. And I made the choice years ago. I will never fold. I will never surrender. I will fight until my last breath. That's why I win. Weak men talk about balance. They talk about relaxation, about self-care. That's loser talk. You think the kings of history cared about balance? You think Alexander the Great was worried about his sleep schedule? You think warriors sat around journaling about their feelings? Number. They fought. They conquered. They endured. That's why their names are still remembered. That's why their stories are still told. And you're watching Netflix and eating junk food, and you wonder why nobody respects you. I don't care about comfort. I care about results. Comfort is poison. Comfort is a slow death. Every time I feel tired, every time I feel stressed, every time I feel like quitting, I smile. Because I know I'm fighting the enemy. I know I'm sharpening myself. I know I'm winning the battle that destroys 99% of men. And when you win that battle enough times, you become untouchable. I've had governments come after me. I've had entire media machines try to destroy me. I've had people I loved turn their backs. And I'm still here. Stronger, louder, richer, more powerful. Why? Because I never surrendered. I never said life isn't fair. Of course it isn't fair. It's war. And in war, fairness doesn't exist. There are winners and losers. That's it. And I'll tell you another truth. You can't fake power. You can't pretend to be strong. The world will test you. Life will expose you. And when it does, you'll either crumble or you'll rise. That's why I love the struggle. That's why I love the pain. because it reveals the truth. It shows me who I really am. It shows me whether I'm worthy of the throne or not. Most of you avoid the test. You avoid challenges. You avoid suffering. You avoid the battlefield. And because of that, you never find out who you are. You die with potential instead of proof. That's the saddest thing a man can do, to die never knowing his own power. I chose differently. I chose to face the fire again and again until I knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that I cannot be broken. That's why I walk into any room with complete certainty. That's why people feel my presence before I say a word, because I know who I am. I know what I've endured, and I know nothing can crush me. This is the part men don't get. Confidence doesn't come from affirmations. It doesn't come from quotes on Instagram. It comes from battle scars. It comes from proving to yourself through pain that you will not quit. That's why I look in every man in the eye without flinching. That's why my voice doesn't shake. That's why I carry myself like a king, because I've been tested and I passed. You want to know why you feel insecure? Because you haven't been tested. You've avoided the fire. You've dodged the battles. You've chosen comfort over combat. That's why your confidence is paper thin. That's why one rejection shatters you. That's why one insult ruins your day. You've built no armor. You've forged no sword. You're naked on the battlefield, and you wonder why you bleed. But here's the good news. You can change it. You can start today. You can decide right now to stop running from pain and to face it head on. You can decide to build the discipline, the strength, the resilience that will make you unshakable. It won't be easy. In fact, it will be hell. But if you endure it, you will emerge a new man. A man who commands respect. A man who cannot be ignored. I'm not special. I wasn't born with a silver spoon. I wasn't handed power. I built it. I bled for it. I earned it. And if I can do it, so can you. The question is, will you, or will you die another average man? Comfortable, but invisible. Alive, but never living. Life is short. Death is certain. The only question is what you will build before the end. Will you leave a legacy that echoes for generations, or will you vanish without a trace? That choice is yours, and it starts with discipline, with suffering, with the decision to fight every single day. So the next time you wake up tired, the next time you feel stressed, the next time you want to quit, remember, this is war. And in war, there are no excuses. There is only victory or defeat, and I refuse to be defeated. Most men will never taste greatness because they can't endure the grind long enough to reach it. They want results tomorrow. They want shortcuts, secrets, hacks. They want to be rich without sacrifice, respected without scars, powerful without struggle. But life doesn't work that way. Life taxes every man, and the currency it demands is pain. When I was broke, I paid in pain. When I was fighting, I paid in pain. When I was betrayed, locked in cells, hunted by governments, I paid in pain, and the payment never stops. Even now, with hundreds of millions, with fame, with power, I still pay. Every day I wake up to pressure, to stress, to enemies plotting. But I smile, because I understand the game. I understand the price. And I am willing to pay it forever. That's why I win. Weak men hate the price. They complain about how hard it is. They think life should be fair. They think success should come with comfort. But that's not how the world works. The throne is heavy for a reason. Power is rare for a reason. Respect is scarce for a reason. It has to be earned through suffering. Otherwise, it means nothing. That's why I tell men, stop looking for easy. Easy is for cowards. Easy is for losers. You don't want easy. You want difficult. You want brutal. You want challenges so hard that most men quit, because that's what makes the prize valuable. If every man could do it, it wouldn't be worth having. But when you endure what others can't, when you bleed where others quit, you claim rewards they'll never touch. And here's the truth. You are capable of more than you know. Your body can take more. Your mind can take more. Your soul can take more. You think you're at your limit? You're not even close. Limits are lies. They're illusions built by comfort, by weakness, by a society that wants you average. The second you decide you don't believe in limits, the second you push past them, you realize you are a monster. You realize you are built for war. That's why I say suffering is a blessing. If you died tomorrow, would your last day be proof you were ever alive? You scroll, you sleep, you settle, and then you wonder why your life is a joke. Winners, we don't have time to be weak. Every breath is war. Every second is a weapon. And if you ain't using yours, Someone else is using theirs to conquer you. You've been sold a